and I'm waiting to see it go live.
It should be live now.
Okay. I'm just
Hello.
take
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna take a moment
Okay.
to save this on. I don't see it yet. Go ahead.
Uh, Hello and welcome everyone. Tonight we have Debra Gloria as our artist guest for this evening. So a little bit about Debra. Debra is a Dallas-based advertising, commercial, and visual healing photographer and videographer. She was born and raised in San Antonio. She began her photography career in Dallas in 1988. She has been a freelance photographer for over 30 years, shooting photography for catalogs, on locations, individuals, and Fortune 500 companies. But one of her passions is to capture is visual healing. So again, my name is Jerome Lattis. I'm with Arttitude. Our mission at Arttitude is to support and create platforms for LGBTQ artists and minority artists. So, Debra, I give everything to you at this point.
Awesome. Hello, everybody, and I'm gonna try to also see if I can look at the comments and stuff. So, thanks everybody for joining. I see Jara and Michelle so far, and I know there's more people. Oh, Daisha and Melissa as people coming in. Thank you. I see Laura Beckham. Thanks, everybody. I really appreciate y'all joining. So, on with the show. So, um, first of all, my name is Debra Gloria. I'm a photographer here in Dallas, Texas. And I'm currently in my studio, and I'm going to give you a tour of that in just 1 second. So, I, first of all, I know some people know this story. Some people probably don't know this story. So, I actually went to school to go to dental school. And my counselor said, you need something extracurricular. You already took all your classes. And so, here is what you can take. So I saw on there photography and I thought, that's interesting. I want to see what that's all about. And back in the day, the film came in a little canister where I just was curious, like, what's in there? I want to know how to develop that. So, and it just kind of perpetuated from literally my curiosity of what comes out of that little roll of film. And so, and here I am today. I just took a couple of photo classes. I loved them. I just like breathed and ate photography, and it was fantastic. And I went on to go to East Texas State University, which is now Texas A&M, and started, just became an assistant. I was so fortunate to be able to work with many photographers in the area. And it was not that easy back in the day, being, a woman and being Hispanic in the industry to, to be an assistant. But I just worked my butt off and of course, just had the great opportunity to learn from amazing people, and then just kind of landed, I guess, just at the right place at the right time, and started shooting for Pier 1 Imports. And wow, that was like, that was a very, very learning experience. I will say that much. And that just kind of perpetuated me to think, okay, what else is there? What else is there really? Because if you find yourself not engaging on what else is beyond there for you, you might have a tendency to get lackadaisical and just kind of like rest in your own laurel and not just kind of explore past what you can actually achieve. So I went ahead and decided, okay, let's see what else is there for me. And I took a leap of faith and left Pier 1. I still love Pier 1. They're fantastic. They've always been great to me. Still love their products. And so I went on and decided to just do it. Just become freelance. So here I am. And, all these years later, how fortunate am I to still be able to do this? Pinch me, somebody. It's not a dream. So anyways, I see still more people joining. Thanks for coming on, Gia, Glenn, Christy, Daisy, Marianne. I see all y'all. See all y'all. So what I wanted to do real quick is I know a lot of you guys have seen my studio, but for those of who cannot see my studio, who've never been here before, I wanted to at least be able to have the opportunity to just give you a quick tour around here, take a minute or two. I'm going to release this real quick, and we're going to take just a quick ride in the studio here. So this is a part of the studio here that's actually going out and then exit this way. I'm going to switch around, and you can see that where a lot of the magic happens in the studio, and I'm sitting right over there, as you can see. And we're going to come around, bathroom here, and this is called the common area. So up the stairs, and we have 2 offices up there, and we're going to just kind of come on over here. As you can see, we have more offices. We're going to swing right around, and you can see bathroom over here and a full kitchen, and people can relax. I've been known to take a nap or 2 on that couch. So we're going to swing back around and over into the studio, and let me just kind of come back over here, and I'm back. Let me just kind of get back on here. Fantastic. All right. That was interesting, wasn't it? That was fun. So, okay, let's talk about, I know probably a lot of you have been curious and maybe interested in this part. So let me get this kind of straight here. Sorry about that, y'all. Sometimes we do these live things like this happen. So I'm going to talk about the anatomy, the psychology of, I've been listening to Brene Brown these days, Anatomy of Trust and all. I want to talk a little bit about the psychology of shooting people. So now, many times, I will tell you, so many times, people walk into my studio and they'll tell me, Debra, I have this going on, or I have that going on, or I have this going on, and I have that going on. And so many times, and I'm going to raise my hand and say that I do it too. We all do it, but we all have things that we don't like about ourselves. So number one, I guess the good thing is, we're acknowledging those things, and that's always a positive thing. So acknowledgement is part of it. And so, but I'm also acknowledging it, and because nobody is perfect on this earth, I think it's so important for me I do listen, and I say, okay, so a lot of times, I'm going to tell you something, people out there, I don't see that. I don't see your imperfections, because I just see who you are, and I see mostly than anything, I see the person's soul, and I think everybody's soul is beautiful. So that is really what emulates, I believe, what emulates out of a person is their beauty, is who they really are inside, and that seems to come out in the photograph. So I have so many times that people just kind of go like, oh, hold on a second, that's me. And I actually shoot real time onto my computer. And I do that for many reasons. Some of this stuff is just literally, like obvious, like maybe a shirt's wrinkle, or, the hair might be out of, blocking something, or in your face or whatever. And I get that. So we could make changes on the fly, but here's the thing. Once you see yourself the way I see yourself, the way I see you, then I see people change. I see them literally morph into the confident person that I know everybody is. So, and yes, I am going to agree, a lot of things is lighting. I love, I really do enjoy, and I love lighting, and I think it's a science. I think if you understand how light bounces and how it, just the way how it moves, because we have different kinds of light. And so the most important thing is to identify it. So like right now, I'm sitting in a room and all this is ambient light. So there's not really a main light, except my ambient light that's here, because I haven't created a main light. So I'm just kind of sitting in my studio and lights bouncing everywhere, and that's kind of my ambient light. So once you kind of understand all that, then you can start putting things together to show people in their best. So number one, as a photographer, I never negate what people tell me. So if they tell me, no, I don't look good like that, I'm going to say, okay, then let's photograph you the way that you think that you look good and the way that you want to look. And let's look at you that way. And so once I start photographing in that way, I say, can we just try something that maybe I would like, or just kind of want to see, because I'm learning about you. I'm learning about how you look and how you feel and how you photograph. And so when I do take that step, I definitely find that people, the part of them that they did not want to see or what they didn't like, automatically they've almost kind of changed their perspective. And that's really what I want to do, is I want to change people's perspective of what they see and what they feel about themselves. Because we live in this digital world that is so competitive against how many likes we want and how many this and how many that. And really, I just want everybody to hear this. If there's anything that you can hear this. You are important. You are so important. Every single one of y'all, important. That's right. We're all essential, by the way. We're all essential. So, it's like, and I know I get a little emotional every now and then about all this kind of stuff, but it's because if I don't want to be a machine. I do not want to be a machine, that's for sure. So I want to be able to feel along with y'all as we travel through all of this crazy stuff. It's just so much crazy stuff. So I know I'm maybe going off a little bit on a tangent, and that's okay, because it's about being real, right? So here's what's happening in the real. How am I doing in time? Good. Here's what's happening realistically. Realistically, this crazy COVID thing has hit so many people. And yeah, it's affected so many people in so many different ways. And that's why I'm here today. I'm here because there's businesses that have been affected, artists, and I'm a part of this. I'm part of this this group here, Arttitude, which we have many artists that have been affected. That this is their livelihood, and it's been rough. It's been really rough, but we have to band together as people that matter, race, religion, political views. Just band together as people. That's what we need to do right now, today. And so, if you can donate to this, there's a little icon right over here, I think. If it's not here, then it's here. then please do. And if you can't, that's okay, because I know that we're all struggling together, and that's okay. So as far as me showing my work today, what I wanted to do is I actually wanted, thank you for those who are donating. I see that happening. I wanted to demonstrate a way I shoot a portrait, but I thought that might be a little irresponsible, just because of the fact that when I do shoot, I'm wearing a mask these days, and sometimes even gloves, depending. I have my hand sanitizer, and of course, you know, we all recognize this. So I'm constantly making sure that the area is sanitized and things like that, because it's really important that we all are being safe these days. So I decided not to do that. I decided not to demonstrate my work. However, I know a lot of you have seen my work, and and I want to talk about two other facets of my work, um, which is underneath my clothes and sensuality. So these are two projects that I've been working on for years and years and years, and they're somewhat controversial because I do photograph people that are very, very vulnerable, and they have allowed me to do that. They've allowed me to go into that space and that place where they literally are that's their secret zone. That's what how they are literally coping the best way they can, whether it be through cancer or um, being burned or anorexia or eating disorders, and there's so many different things that are happening to them. And this is what I have found. I have found that these people who are wanting to be photographed that way, it's them that are okay with it. It's all the noise that's outside, all the people outside that are not okay with seeing that, because maybe it's not um, okay to look at, pretty to look at, a happy image or whatever. And maybe we don't want to see what the truth looks like. And so I kind of feel like that's part of what I'm supposed to do, is do that, bring that to light, and not necessarily glorify it, but just to show it in a reality, in all its realistic terms, and what it is presented today. So so let me say that those projects have been shelved for a long, long time because I couldn't find a venue to show it. And then here comes Arttitude, out of just kind of comes out of nowhere almost, it seems like. And not only do they give me a venue, but they give me a big venue to show it. That was crazy. How exciting was that? And of course, this year we're not able to do that, which is okay because of all this happening. But let me tell you something. To be able to give me breath again it's like clear, it's like I feel as though that I was given that opportunity, and it's such a blessing. This Arttitude has been such a blessing to me. I don't know how to thank them. It's so awesome to be able to have that with this group. So exciting. So again, I just want to say, number one, thank you for listening. I really do appreciate everybody who is out there listening. And I see you, April, and I see a couple of people. Thanks, Laura, for listening. Thank you for everybody who's listening. So one question that was asked to me is what I have been doing during quarantine, how I've been coping with it. What have I, what am I doing? Am I shooting? What am I doing? Well, let me tell you something. Right when we got into this whole time of COVID quarantine, I was actually sick for 2 weeks, and I may have had I may have had it. I don't know. It's possible. Since then, I've been okay. I didn't have a lot of the symptoms, but I was quite sick for 2 weeks. Didn't have to go to the ER. I probably would not have gone to the hospital unless I was dragging, to be honest. And I guess I was scared for a while. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I was definitely scared. And then I just started listening to positive podcasts and love me some Brene Brown, I got to tell you. And this other podcast. Then I started listening to just, I guess, more light type of podcasts, so things that weren't so serious. And then I started watching webinars, photography-related webinars, and been very engaged with that, learning a little bit more about color and manipulating that type of stuff. Just a lot of photography, blah, blah. And phase one is the application that I use, and Capture One, and very good place if you're a photographer, want to see some great webinars, definitely go and check that out, no doubt. So, and other than that, I've been taking some time out to breathe and talking to a lot of friends on the phone, and old friends I hadn't talked to in a long time. And I think it's really important that we do that and that we continue to reach out. So important to continue to reach out. So, and I actually photographed a few headshots very safely, definitely making sure that I've been taking all the safety precautions I need to in order for me to stay safe and for my client to stay safe. So just as you can see, the studio is a huge space and place, so there's plenty of room for us to maintain our distance while they're here. So now for the next 5 to 7 minutes, I'm going to be taking some questions and answers. So I'm here. I'm going to be looking at some of these things in real time. I see there's quite a bit of people in here, and thank you. Wow, you guys, y'all are great, man. Look at that. I see all y'all people. A couple of people here that I didn't say hi to. Stephen Price, how's it going? Dee, let's see, I did say hi to Glenn. Mandy, Jenny Martell, what's up? April, of course, love you very much. Gia, Alex, Melissa, Frankie. Just wanted to acknowledge all y'all. Y'all are awesome. If I didn't see somebody, DR, and everybody, Arttitude people that are out there, thank you for joining and thank you for being a part of this. And I didn't see that. Okay, so Christy, thank you. If you're donating, I really appreciate you. April, if you're donating, I appreciate you. This helps so many people. I can't even tell you. I really appreciate all of that. So. I'm going to see if, let's see, upcoming projects. So I always have projects coming up. I've been shooting on, sensuality, and I've continued to shoot on underneath my clothes. I can't always show my work, and that's okay, because sometimes my work is not meant for all eyes. Maybe it's only meant for the person who I'm shooting that for. So I have shot a burn victim who the gentleman was definitely affected by it quite a bit. And I never was able to show that, which is okay, because you don't always have to, like I said, you don't always have to show everything. So, and that's not why I'm doing this. I'm not a photographer to show my work all the time, every day, to my audience, because I kind of just feel like my audience, my client, I respect what they want to do with the images first, and then I'll share them later if I can, or if I have time to do that. So there's that. And see, I got about 5 more minutes. If anybody has any questions, DR says, how do you stay focused and motivate on projects when they take longer than you expected or want? So first of all, DR, anytime I have my camera in my hand, like that, it seems like that's my superpower. I mean, it's like, once I have that in my hand, it's like, I don't care if it's, I don't know, freezing outside or it's 100 degrees outside. like that is my fuel. It's like that, just like literally, um, that's why I wake up in the morning is, it's like that. And so sometimes, yes, projects take way longer than I want them to, but I've definitely discovered the word patience in so many different ways. Um, and I think part of a big, giant way that I did learn patience was when I was my sister's caregiver when she was passing away. That was definitely learning patience in a whole different um, way. Uh, so yeah, I feel like I'm definitely a patient person. And if anybody has been shot by me, then they can also tell you that I'm very patient to make sure that they get the photograph that they want and then some. So, um, so I hope I answered your question, Dr. What type of questions are you wanting? Specific topics? Not, uh, just anything. I mean, uh, whatever kind of question that you might have. I mean, doesn't you could ask me about lighting. You could ask me about um, why am I sitting here? It doesn't matter. Let's see. If you could describe your work in 3 words, what would they be? Um, wow. Honest, um, truth, and the soul. That's what I think I would say that. The soul, whoever I shot, their soul. How can we best support you as an artist? You know, Gia, I know that you're a photographer, and I think that this is a tough time right now. And I know that once we get back and we're going to open up here in a couple of days, um, which I hope everybody is going to be safe and do it in a safe way. Um, but I would say that the best you can support any artist is to um, either, when you can, ask to see if they have a gift certificate. Um, Go online and see if they have art that's for sale. Um, and I can't say it enough. You could also donate here to Arttitude, because we're taking care of artists here that are in the LGBTQ um, arena, and we have had projects that have gone through, and we're definitely being affected by it. So Jared says, do you ever use film, go into the dark room? Wow, Jared, that was a long time ago. And film is still being produced and still out there somewhere. But let me tell you something. You know, I think my darkroom days are over. But if I had the opportunity to go into a dark room, bring it to me, man. That fixture smell, I can still smell it in my lungs. That never goes away. And sometimes you're addicted to it, but don't drink it. So Michelle says she could testify that I'm patient. Chrissy Johnson, I'm the queen of patience. April says I'm patient. DR, you're welcome. Mandy, Debra has a way of bringing things out that you didn't even know that existed. I can also attest that she's the most patient person. And Laura says she really is the queen of patience. So there you have it. Let's see. So looks like we have 1 minute left. And I would love for our founder of Arttitude to come on and help me close out this broadcast. I love all of y'all who joined. Thank you so much for your support. It means more than what I could ever say to you.
Debra, thank you. And again, everyone, my name is Jerome Lattis, and I co-founded Arttitude with Rafiq Saleh Flowers. Can y'all hear me?
I can't hear you.
Oh,
There
okay.
you go.
Okay,
Here he comes.
again, my name is Jerome Lattis. I'm co-founder of Arttitude. Co-founded the organization with Rafiq Saleh Flowers. Can you still not hear me?
Yeah, you're coming in and out. Maybe just
Oh,
take your earbuds off.
okay. Let me see here.